The chambers of the Galactic Council fell silent as Ambassador Chen placed the small data crystal on the obsidian table. Around her, representatives from 47 species watched with expressions ranging from confusion to barely concealed contempt. The Vraxian counselor clicked his mandibles impatiently, his three eyes fixed on the human diplomat. "We have reviewed Earth's petition," High Arbiter Zelfin announced, her crystalline voice echoing through the chamber. "The Council finds no merit in humanity's request for technological exchange or cultural partnership programs. Furthermore, we deny your appeal for a seat at the Secondary Council. Humanity simply lacks the sophistication required for deeper integration." Shen's face remained impassive. She had expected this. For 30 years, humanity had tried to prove itself worthy to the galactic community. They had offered art, music, literature, and scientific innovations. Every gesture had been met with dismissal or, worse, amusement. The elder races viewed humans as barely evolved primitives who had stumbled into faster-than-light travel through sheer luck. "I understand," Shen said quietly. "Then I formally announce Earth's withdrawal from the Galactic Council, effective immediately." A ripple of what might have been laughter passed through the assembly. The Kelthan delegate made a whistling sound that translated as derision. "You withdraw? As if you were ever truly part of this body. Run along, little humans. Play in your small corner of the galaxy." Shen picked up the data crystal. "The withdrawal includes all human-operated services, technologies, and infrastructures currently supporting Council operations. You have 72 hours to make alternative arrangements." She turned and walked away, her footsteps the only sound in the suddenly tense chamber. High Arbiter Zelfin waved a dismissive appendage. "What services? Humans provide nothing of value." But the Meridian Trade Minister, Kos, felt a cold sensation creeping through his thermal sacs. Humans had been so quiet, so accommodating, working in the background for 3 decades. What exactly had they been doing? The answer came faster than anyone anticipated. 18 hours after Ambassador Chen departed, the Council's primary communications network experienced cascading failures. The sophisticated quantum entanglement system that connected thousands of worlds simply stopped working. Frantic technicians discovered that every relay node contained human-designed error correction algorithms. Without them, the ancient alien hardware couldn't maintain coherent signals across vast distances. The Vraxians, who had mocked human mathematics as charmingly primitive, couldn't recreate the algorithms. The formulas existed nowhere in their databases. 30 hours in, the galactic trade markets crashed. Financial institutions across 200 worlds found themselves unable to process transactions. Every major banking system, it turned out, ran on human-developed security protocols. The elder races had been too proud to admit they'd adopted them, burying the human code deep in their systems under layers of proprietary interfaces. The Kelthan Empire discovered that their celebrated military fleet couldn't navigate effectively. Somewhere along the way, human astrogation specialists had helped optimize their jump calculations, reducing computational time by 98%. The old systems were still there, technically functional, but a journey that took hours now required weeks of calculation. Medical facilities on 40 worlds reported critical supply shortages. Humans, it seemed, had dominated the logistics optimization field. Their algorithms determined the most efficient routes for medical shipments, predicted demand patterns, and managed inventory systems. Without them, the carefully balanced supply chains collapsed into chaos. High Arbiter Zelfin convened an emergency session 60 hours after humanity's departure. The council chamber buzzed with panic and rage. How did we allow ourselves to become so dependent on them? The Vraxian counselor demanded, his mandibles clacking furiously. Kos, the Meridian, had spent the last 2 days reviewing records. What he found horrified him. They didn't force themselves on us. We invited them in. When humans offered to help improve efficiency or assist with technical challenges, we saw it as tribute, proof of their inferior position. We didn't realize they were making themselves indispensable. They infiltrated our systems, someone shouted. No, Kos said wearily. They fixed our systems. Every economy they helped grew stronger. Every network they optimized became more reliable. We couldn't see the pattern because we were too busy congratulating ourselves on forcing the humans to serve us. The Kelthan delegate's skin flushed purple with anger. We demand they return. We'll force them. With what fleet? Koss asked. The one that can't navigate? Besides, they've done nothing illegal. Every contract was fulfilled exactly as written. They simply declined to renew. The emergency session lasted 9 hours. Ambassadors argued, threatened, and pleaded. Some suggested military action, but the logistics of mounting a campaign against Earth proved impossible with their crippled infrastructure. Others proposed diplomatic outreach, offering concessions and partnerships. High Arbiter Zelthan finally authorized a delegation to Earth. They found the Sol system's borders monitored by a modest defensive fleet. The human ships were smaller than most military vessels, but something about their quiet confidence gave the delegates pause. They were granted permission to approach Earth. Ambassador Chen met them in Geneva, in the same simple conference room where humanity had first applied for council membership 3 decades earlier. We're prepared to offer a secondary council seat, Zelthan began. We're not interested, Chen replied. A primary seat then. Full voting rights. Cultural exchange programs. Chen shook her head. You mistake our intentions. We're not negotiating for better terms. We're done. The Vraxian counselor couldn't contain himself. You're destroying galactic civilization. Species are suffering. Then I suggest you find solutions, Chen said calmly. We spent 30 years trying to be partners. You wanted servants. Now you have neither. Koss leaned forward. What do you want, Ambassador? There must be something. Chen considered for a moment. Nothing. We don't want revenge or compensation. We simply want to be left alone. Humanity is withdrawing to our local cluster. We'll trade with any species that approaches us respectfully, as equals. But we're done begging for scraps from the Council's table. You can't just abandon the galaxy. Zelthan protested. Watch us, Chen said. She stood, signaling the meeting's end. You have brilliant scientists and ancient technologies. You'll adapt. You always assumed you were superior to humanity. Now you have the opportunity to prove it. The delegation was escorted back to their ships. As they departed the Sol system, they watched dozens of human vessels heading in the opposite direction, toward the outer territories and newly established colonies. Back in the council chambers, the delegates filed their reports. The message was clear: humanity wasn't coming back. The Galactic Council faced a choice. They could spend years trying to recreate what humans had built, or they could finally learn the lesson humanity had tried to teach through 3 decades of quiet service, that cooperation, not hierarchy, built civilizations that lasted. In Geneva, Ambassador Chen watched the alien ships disappear from the solar system's sensors. She didn't smile. There was no triumph in walking away, only the quiet satisfaction of finally choosing dignity over acceptance. Humanity had walked away quietly. The galaxy would remember the consequences.